How's it going, Jack Tackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be ranking all 5 seasons of the Eric Andre show from the worst to the best. But before we do that, I just want to say that every season of the Eric Andre show is pretty damn great, and I love all of these seasons. I don't think that there's really a bad one from the bunch. So if your favorite season's lower on the list, just remember, I still really enjoy it. I love all these seasons. But with that being said, let's get into the actual ranking now. So at number 5, I have Season 5. This is the odd one out, I would say. But I'm very glad we got this season because it provided a lot of laughs for me over the past few weeks, and I really enjoyed it. It's a good season. I thought it was pretty fun and didn't really lose its charm, thankfully. I was worried going into this season that it wouldn't feel the same, and while there are a few changes, obviously the big one being Hannibal leaving the show, while he does show up here and there, especially in the first 2 episodes and then comes back in the finale of the season, it does kind of feel empty and that they were trying to fill the void of Hannibal. However, the show felt still funny, and I, again, had a lot of laughs. So I didn't hate this season, and I was worried that it was just going to be trash, and I'm happy to say that no, it was a pretty good season, but it is still the odd one out, and I do feel like it doesn't compete with the other seasons of the show. Anyways, with that being said, let's move on to number 4. I have Season 1. Now, this season has a very specific charm to it because this was the start of it all, but it's also very iconic for that reason. It has a very different vibe from the rest of the seasons as well, but it does still feel like, oh yeah, this is the Eric Andre show. There are a lot less celebrity guest stars in this season, so they have to make shit up as they go along, which, I mean, I guess they normally do, but this season in particular just felt very, I guess, off the cuff most of the time, and they just kind of had to do a bunch of crazier stuff, and they could get away with a lot more things in the earlier seasons of the show as well. So for that reason, it is kind of cool. However, I do just enjoy the other seasons of the show more than this one. But this is still a pretty solid season and really good. Anyway, moving on to number 3, I have Season 2. Now, this was a hard one for me. I was deciding which one to put here at the number 3 spot, but ultimately I did decide to put Season 2. It did give birth to the Who Killed Hannibal meme, which is pretty good, and this does start to feel like, I guess, the peak of the show, but I don't know if it's quite there yet, which is why it's only at number 3. However, it's still very good. And, you know, obviously they did start to experiment a lot more with more celebrity guest stars, and it was pretty funny. And it's just a really good season, and it's just solid all around. But at number 2, I did put Season 4. Now, yeah, I was struggling whether or not to put Season 4 or Season 2 in certain spots, but I decided to put, at number 2, Season 4. Now, Season 4 is pretty good. There's obviously a lot of celebrity guest stars, which you could argue doesn't necessarily make for good content, but I think it does when the celebrity is a lot more well-known, and, you know, Eric is pulling off these shenanigans. I think it works a lot better. It's a bit more funnier. I think the interview with Jeanette McCurdy is hilarious, where he's like, "You gotta help me out here." That's like one of the best. That's so funny. Like, that Jeanette McCurdy interview is so hilarious. And there's just a lot of good moments in this season. It's a really solid season of the show. But at number 1, I ultimately decided to put Season 3 at number 1. Bird Up. That's all I got to say about that. No, but seriously, Season 3 definitely kind of started to feel like the peak of the show. It had a good variety of celebrity guest stars. It had a lot of funny stuff. Again, the Bird Up episode is just, well, it's just really great. And yeah, it just felt like this is the Eric Andre show I know and love. But again, this was super hard to do because I really enjoy all these seasons. They're all really good, as I previously mentioned, but I do think Season 3 is probably my favorite. Whether or not that's the general consensus doesn't really matter. I probably enjoy Season 3 the most out of any of the other seasons. But let me know your ranking of the Eric Andre show seasons down in the comments below. I love this show. It's one of my favorites of all time. And it'll be interesting to see if we get a Season 6. But I really want to know what your thoughts are on the seasons. Did you guys enjoy Season 5? I haven't heard too much hubbub about it. I've heard a few things online about, like, people enjoying it, but I don't know, like, the vast majority of people who, you know, I don't know the vast majority's thoughts on this season. So I would love to know. Let me know down in the comments. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Boop.